On tonight's edition of our nation's sports show, we continue our coverage of this year's NBA's conference finals. In the Eastern Conference Finals between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, the series is all tied at 2 games apiece after Boston's total domination of the Heat on Monday night with a 102-82 victory. In the Western Conference Finals, the Golden State Warriors are up 3 games to none on the Dallas Mavericks. Tonight, Game 4 in Dallas. Can Luka Doncic and the Mavericks get a victory in this series, or will the Warriors sweep their way to the NBA Finals? It's showtime. From the gridiron to the court, talking all that is sports. Representing Busted Up a Nation brings to you our Nation Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Ezra Vickery, Joey Thornton, Kevin Rorie, Randy Giron, and Stephen Wyand.
All right, here we go. Everybody's here. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our Nation Sports Show. I'm Ezra Vickery, and we are here live with you now on a wonderful Tuesday evening. We got a lot to talk about. We got, of course, the NBA playoffs, which have been awesome. We got a couple games to talk about. We got, of course, any news in the NFL. We got a couple signs. We got a couple of different things going on there. Of course, Major League Baseball, hockey, of course, right now the NHL playoffs are also going on right now. We'll give a quick update on that, and any MMA news we'll get into as well. But first, we got to get into the ways that you can interact with us and follow us. Of course, that's twitter.com /ON_sports show, facebook.com /Our Nation Sports Show, and instagram.com /Our Nation Sports Show. Also, don't forget to follow us here on the YouTube channel if you're watching this live with us. Hit that subscribe button. We're close, guys. We're getting to that, almost close to that 100 subscriber mark. Once you get that 100 subscriber mark, we can get that custom URL, which will allow us to share content with you guys a lot easier, and you guys to be able to find us a lot easier as well. Also, don't forget to follow all of our individual social medias, which will be listed down in the description of this video. And also to follow, of course, Nation's Corner at all their socials at The Nation's Corner. Nation's Corner on Twitter, of course, and of course the Nation's Corner on YouTube as well. You catch your show on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube. And then also follow my crew, Too Sweet Cosplay, at Too Sweet Cosplay on all socials, including the YouTube channel. We just did our first appearance for the year at Anime Central. It was a great appearance in Chicago. Thank you guys so much for whoever came out on that. And in our next appearance, most of our crew will be attending Forbidden Door, AEW New Japan Forbidden Door. So find us there. We'll be hanging out in the concourse, different stuff before and after the show. So find us and say hey. Well, let's get into our sports crew here. And yes, we got a full crew here today. We're back. The band is back together once again. I would say the gang's all here, but unlike on yesterday's show with Sebastian Bach, I don't need Sebastian going nuts because of the name of the Skid Row song that doesn't feature him.
Good job,
dude. Let's bring the guys on here. We got, of course, everybody here, the Oakland Raiders #1 and only fan, Randy Giron. What's going on, my brother?
Who told you I had an OnlyFans? Oh, OnlyFans.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh man. I mean, hey guys. Gotta make some money somehow. Hey, good to see you guys. Happy Tuesday to everyone. And I hope this show goes off better than Welcome to Rockville.
Yeah, ain't it?
And
Yeah, that'll be the rain to right rain delays or thunderstorms here, brother.
That would be weird. All right. Well, just glad to be here as always, and let's have a great show.
Absolutely. We're going to have an awesome show tonight, and especially because we got with us our good buddy here, Joseph. Buddy Joseph Thornton, a.k.a. not JT, not Justin Timberlake, but just Joseph Thornton, Atlanta Braves #1 fan and fan of other garbage teams in the southern area outside of probably one other. But let's go. All right, Joe. What's up, man?
Yeah, you're the one to talk since you pull for the Chicago Bears, who get beaten by Aaron Rodgers every year. But what's going on? But what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. Want to say welcome back to the bro, Mr. Kevin Rorie. And I also want to start by saying, Randy, I might have to check out that OnlyFans page that you guys see if it's anything worth interesting.
Hello.
Oh Lord. Oh,
Lord. Hit that subscribe button to Randy's OnlyFans.
Well,
yeah, it'll be.
Only you guys know about it. I guess Joe's going to be the only fan. So.
Yeah, right. Not in this lifetime.
Yeah, that game is going to be more interesting. Yeah, it's going to be more interesting than the first 3 quarters of the Miami-Boston game.
True that.
Yeah, back with us this week, of course, is our good buddy here, man, who's kind of right now celebrating because his Golden State Warriors are up 3-0 in their series against the Dallas Mavericks and looking to clinch it and end it all. I believe it is tonight, baby. Yep. That being none other than our buddy Kevin Rorie. Kevin, what's going on, man?
What's going on, guys? Happy Tuesday, and yeah, it feels great to be back. 2 weeks absence. First week had the flu, and I gotta say, hey, Michael Jordan earns all my respect with his flu game. Hell, I couldn't even want to get out of the damn bed, let alone play a fucking basketball game. So yeah, hey, it feels good to be back, and feels good to be pulling. It feels good to be a Golden State Warrior fan. 2 years absence and went back to the ground and rebuild and came back strong. Feels good, folks.
All right, and finally we got, of course, the patriarch of this show, my heavy metal brother from Norcat Galaki, who unfortunately had a rough week this weekend with the Welcome to Rockville Festival. For those of you who don't know about that festival, it is a 4-day festival in Daytona Beach, Florida, at Daytona International Speedway. Unfortunately, the last 2 days were interrupted with severe weather. So unfortunately, most of the sets did not make it through the weekend. So it's very, very unfortunate. But at least he had a good time. Mr. Stephen Wyand. Stephen, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys? And also, real quick, Kevin, the reason why you didn't want to get out of bed also is because you didn't want to lose to the Dolphins online again on Monday on Madden NFL 22.
That's true.
That's
very true.
Very pathetic. I don't know what team you were, but that still sucks. Anyways, we're going to talk about these conference finals, and let's go.
Let's get right into it, guys. That is, of course, we're going to start off with, and that is the NBA Finals, or the NBA playoffs, shall we say. And it's been a very, very interesting playoffs. I know this man, Kevin, unfortunately, he's been out the past weeks. He had the flu a couple weeks ago, and then he had a family obligation last week and couldn't be here as well, which is all good. Kevin, you had some specific thoughts that you wanted to get into about the last series. I believe it was was it the Eastern Conference semis? I believe it was
the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, at the Western Conference
specifically.
Phoenix Suns.
Yes.
Yeah. You messaged us earlier, and I said that I would give you the floor at the beginning of the show to go ahead and discuss your opinions on the collapse of the Phoenix Suns, and of course like we talked about, the ineptity of Chris Paul and Devin Booker and company. So, Kevin, the floor is yours.
Man, I tell you what, all I'm going to say is what Draymond Green said came to life. The playoffs are indeed a different animal than the regular season. Like, Chris Paul has been on some wonderful regular season teams, the 2015 LA Clippers, the 2018 Houston Rockets, 2022 Phoenix Suns, all of them 60-plus wins teams. but we know how the ending goes, and that is they end up choking, they end up losing, they end up getting put out. And as much as people want to credit the Dallas Mavericks, no disrespect intended to the Mavericks, but them being down 0-3 to the Golden State Warriors actually makes the Phoenix Suns look even more pathetic, because now the narrative is, wow, the Mavericks are going to go, they're going to do something. They're going to compete with Golden State. Oh, they're down 0-3. So you mean to tell me the Phoenix Suns were that fucking bad that Dallas beat them and now they're down 0-3? Chris Paul is a choke artist. There's no way around it. And I'm sorry to say this, and I know it sounded disrespectful. When it came out, I was listening to comments Patrick Beverly made on ESPN television shows like First Take and Get Up, and he hit it on the head. It sounded disrespectful, but he was honest. He said, you know what? Monty Williams made the wrong move. They benched the wrong player. Instead of benching DeAndre Ayton, you should have benched Chris Paul. Chris Paul's the one that killed you. Chris Paul was a damn cone. He couldn't defend nobody. He couldn't do nothing. He couldn't score. He couldn't shoot. He was a damn cone. He always has and he always will. Patrick Beverly said, listen, as a defender, if the night before, if I know I'm playing Chris Paul, I'm up to 2 a.m. in the club partying, drinking, because what's Chris Paul going to do against me? If I'm playing Steph Curry, I'm going to bed at 7 o'clock sharp. I told my girl, don't text me. Tell everybody, don't call me. I got to focus. That's the difference. You won't get embarrassed by Chris Paul. And Chris Paul has been known to come up very short in big games or not even play at all. 2018, you have a chance to knock off the superior Golden State Warriors in your own home in the Toyota Center in Houston, and oh, my groin hurts. I don't play. Are you kidding me? Marcus Smart looked like he broke his fucking ankle, and he returned to the same fucking game the other day against the Miami Heat. You got guys like Klay Thompson, who in 2019 tore his ACL but stayed in the fucking game to make 2 free throws to keep his team alive. You got guys like Kobe Bryant, tore his whole Achilles and stayed in the game to give his team a shot and hit those 2 free throws. You got guys like Kevin Durant, who already had his injury, but he already tried to come back to give his Warriors a chance in 2019 before essentially tearing his Achilles. And where are you at, Chris Paul? Oh, my groin hurts. I can't play Game 7 to go to the NBA Finals. Chris Paul has proven time and time again why he ain't nothing but a point guard version of Charles Barkley. He gets it done. He gets it done when it doesn't matter, but when the games matter, he comes up really short. His Phoenix Suns come up really short, or any team that he's been on, for that matter, has came up well short. Chris Paul, he's not that guy, and to me, I feel like this is his only chance. He's done. There's his playoff window, unless he joins a fucking super team next year, or a team that's got everything, his championship window is officially shut. Because next year, I thought it was already closing this year, because last year was his golden opportunity. Golden State on the injury reserve, Paul George and them boys, Kawhi tear his ACL. Now next year, you got a young Memphis team that's going to have experience coming up in the West. You got Golden State, who looks like they're still going to be a powerhouse for the next 4 to 5 years with Steph and Poole and them boys. You got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George the band back together in LA. And I mean, it's not that they should have already put Phoenix out in 2021 with a healthy Kawhi Leonard, might I add. You got Denver Nuggets, who are going to be much healthier next year. So Phoenix, to me, it's over for them. Playoff chances are done. This summer, you got to sign Devin Booker to a super max deal, because he's going to make all NBA, obviously. So with that super max deal's done, there's going to be no DeAndre Ayton. The finances are not there. No Cameron Payne. No Cam Johnson. None of those guys. Jay Crowder's probably going to find a new home. And if he don't, or them two don't, your runner-up for the Defensive Player of the Year, Mikal Bridges, will not be on that roster next year. Mark my word. And that's all I got to say about the Suns. But all I got to say is good riddance. It's done.
Damn. All right. Kevin.
I hope they had the time of their lives.
In Cancun, kayaking.
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. I thought they were just like the Utah Jazz. Carmelo and John Stockton could get it done during the regular season. And then when it came time to do everything, they
I'll tell you, listen.
They
tell you how much I
choke God.
Yeah, here's how much I trust Chris Paul. Listen, here's how much I trust Chris Paul. I would trust Michael Vick dog sitting my dogs for a week than I would trust Chris Paul in a game 7. Put it like that. I mean, no pun intended. No offense. I would rather have Mike Vick watching my dogs than to damn trust Chris Paul with the game on the line.
Yeah. Solid points, Kevin. I mean, when you look at the situation that Chris Paul and the Suns are in this year, if you really think about it, from any team in the NBA that has had the best record in the East or the West, all the pressure ended up on that team. Like when LeBron and those Cavs teams were dominating in 2009 and 2010, 60-plus wins those year. This Suns team, 64 wins, 32-9 at home, had the best road record all year long. And when the chips were on the table, the games were on the line, the Suns could not get it done because Thursday, a few weeks ago, was their best chance at closing out Dallas in this series. And they absolutely blew that opportunity. And then when that game 7 was, and then when the game 7 was on the line, the article that I read said it best. Phoenix and their fans were very tensed. Mavericks players relaxed, especially at the shoot around.
Yes. And you know what? What I noticed Phoenix has done is a no-no. And Draymond Green said it best. They learned from going 73-9. And you seen how that happened. I mean, it's my boys, but Jesus Christ. They blew a 3-1 lead after going 73-9. So the playoffs are different. For number 2, as a team, you don't want to show your hand. It's like playing cards. You don't want to show your whole hand to the opponent. Like, hey, here's the cards I got. Now what you're going to do? No, you want to keep those cards for the playoffs. You want to be able to throw that card out and them not have nothing to do. Phoenix been throwing their cards out all year. Pick and roll, pick and roll, pick and roll. Chris Paul gets to the mid-range. So you know what Dallas does? Fuck it. We're going to play drop coverage and guard that mid-range and make Chris Paul have to shoot threes after turning 37 years old, which was horrible. It's like he had his birthday and he completely froze after that. Oh, 36, he's balling. 37, oh, he sucks. That was a 180 turnaround if I ever seen it.
Huge turnaround because Dallas was hitting shot after shot in that game. And you would have thought by the third and fourth quarter, it was a Mavericks home game because a lot of the Suns fans left that arena and just, you had to be, if you're a Phoenix fan, you got to be livid with yourself to pay for those tickets to go to that game and see your team absolutely put up an absolute stinker of a game. I mean,
in a game 7.
Chris Paul and Devin Booker were, I believe, in the first half were 0 for 11 combined in that first half. That is absolutely pathetic.
Yes, it was.
Just terrible all the way around.
I agree.
And you're right, Kevin. I mean, when you look at this Mavericks team, now that they're down 3 games not against Golden State, it makes Phoenix look like more of a joke now, you know, for blowing that game 7 at home.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Golden State and Dallas, let's go ahead and get right into that, guys. And let's get right into it right now. Golden State with a 3-0 chokehold, as Kevin likes to say on our Facebook Messenger discussions. Dallas right now. Luka has been having some hell of a game. He's been having some great performances. And you know what? That's something I want to get into right away personally, is something that I've stressed since the Giannis series. And that is, once again, Luka cannot do it by himself. And that is something that I've noticed in this series as well as the Milwaukee-Boston series. And that is that, once again, we got a star player who's once again, unfortunately, having to do the workload himself. The other night, I think Luka had like 41, 42 points. He had a really strong game, but he's the only one who scored big numbers. The question is, why so? You know, you have other players on the team, but to me, the thing is, they're missing that number 2 scorer. They don't have a number 2 scorer like a Luka who could get the same numbers. You got, you know, those number 1, number 2 players. You got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. You know, you've got, you know, whoever it is. You got Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan in Chicago. You've got this person, that person, on whatever other team. You got those number 1, number 2 scorers that do the 20, 30, 40 points that can help a team get to victory. But Luka can't do it all by himself because eventually he's going to wear down. And if his team doesn't show up, then it's like he's basically in a 5-on-1 matchup. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. Golden State is doing excellent. They're shooting right now. And this is a stat I heard on ESPN this morning. They're shooting the other day they shot 54.7% in the paint. That's how good they were. They were shooting 54.7% in the paint because they just can't stop them when Clay, and Steph, and Jordan all drive into the paint and get baskets. They just don't have the proper defense. But like I said, part of it is because they don't have players the caliber of Luka who are going to help alleviate some of the pressure. And that's something that I've noticed in this series. To me, Dallas has got to do the best thing they can do right now is try to get better scoring, alleviate the pressure off Luka, and defend the paint if they're even going to have a chance of getting in this series, which I highly doubt. But you never know. Stranger things have happened in the NBA. We've seen some teams go up 3-0 and then lose the next 4 and get shockingly eliminated from the playoffs. I know Golden State's on another level right now, and they're playing like madmen on a mission, but like I said, anything's possible. So, Kevin, you being the master Golden State fan that you are, and I want to get your assessment first on this series with Dallas, and what are your thoughts on it as far as that goes?
Well, I'm gonna start with the Mavericks first, and I'm gonna give an interesting narrative from my point of view. I love Luka. I feel like he's gonna be the face of the league, but he's getting over talked about a lot, and I'll tell you why. As good as Luka is, and people try to compare him to LeBron James, and I know we hate on LeBron, but LeBron has proven that he can change the game on offense and defense. So when you compare Luka to LeBron, Jay Williams brought it up on ESPN. He said, that's stupid. If you're going to compare Luka to anybody, it's James Harden because he can score how he wants, but he cannot play defense. He cannot control the pace of the game. He's just there scoring because he's a natural offensive juggernaut. But when I look at this stat, it's very interesting that when Luka is on the floor in this series, they are a minus 41, means they've got outscored by 41 points with Luka on the floor. With Wiggins on the floor, they are a plus 52 when he's on the floor, meaning that he's been holding it down and holding Luka in check, not necessarily in the stat sheet, but when you talk about controlling the game, Luka's not getting his players involved as well. The offense that they run is he's letting the shot clock dwindle down like James Harden used to in Houston, 5, 4, 3, 2, and he either takes a wild shot or he passes it up to one of his bench players who already struggles to shoot. Now they got to make a prayer from the corner to try to shoot, and that's part of the reason he don't have any help, because when I look at it, he's got the help that he needs. He just needs bench help. Spencer Dinwiddie is averaging 28 in this series. He's got a 2-scorer right there. Jalen Brunson had a 33-piece the other night with Luka having 40. It's the bench players and the other role players that are not performing. Like, I seen a stat that Reggie Bullock, the number one defender, obviously, was 0 of 10 last game with 0 points. He had a big 0, a flat donut. I saw
that statistic too. Yep.
Max Kleber, 0 for 5, 0 points. They call them the Donut Bros. You got the Splash Bros versus the Donut Bros because they ain't scoring. And the thing about Golden State is they've got plentiful scoring. They got guys coming off the bench averaging 16, 17, 18 a game. Jordan Poole. You got guys like Kevon Looney who he is touring them up inside. Kevon Looney, for Christ's sake, was just a fill-in player 3 years ago. He's dropping 23 and 13. Steph Curry in game 2 had 13 rebounds. A 6'2" point guard with 13 rebounds. You know what that problem is? Dallas has no interior. They have no rim protector. And Steve Kerr, being the great coach he is, said, you know what? Let's not attempt so many threes. We're going to get in the paint and make layups. They ain't got nobody to block our shots. We're going to go get layups after layup after, and probably the dunk of the year, for Christ's sakes, with Andrew Wiggins. We're just going to dunk on you. We're going to take you to the hole every time. You know why? You ain't got no rebounders. You ain't got no shot blockers. You ain't got nobody. The defense is naked down there under the paint. Steph is driving. Clay is driving. Draymond making plays, driving. You got everybody making plays for Golden State. And Steph Curry has stepped up big time for Golden State. And watching this, people, I don't understand the narrative. Oh, he ain't got a Finals MVP. Oh, he chokes. He's not good in the fourth. Steph Curry, you know where he's at right now, averaging field goal percentage in the fourth? a 74% in the fourth quarter. You know, the only other stats he's compared to is Michael Jordan from 1996 and LeBron James from 2012 against the Oklahoma City Thunder with most points per game in the fourth quarter. Talk about another level. Steph is motivated. And I'll bring you an interesting quote on my closing that Steph said last year in the play-in when they lost to Memphis and they got eliminated. Steph said, we needed this. Wiggins got his feet wet. Poole got his feet wet. Our main core got their feet wet while Clay's coming back. And Steph Curry said the words out of his mouth, you don't want to see the 2022 Golden State Warriors in the playoffs. I mark my words. And you know what? He's making everybody eat them words. 3-0 right now. And Steve Kerr, another interesting stat, numbers don't lie. Steve Kerr has won 14 consecutive series after winning game one. The only other coach in NBA history that has a better win streak and record in general is the great Phil Jackson, 36-0 after winning game one. Steve Kerr is 18-1 in series after winning game one. Steve Kerr is a hell of a coach.
Yes, he is.
And then this series gives me, and Steven, you know this gives me 2019 Western Conference Finals vibes.
Oh, yeah.
The Portland Trailblazers won Game 7 against the mighty Denver Nuggets, and then they go to Golden State without Kevin Durant, by the way, because he was hurt. They go to Golden State, and Golden State sweeps them right out the playoffs to get to the finals. This is reminding me so much of 2019.
I forget
a young
what game
Portland
it was.
team.
I forget what game
and
it was.
And they also trailed.
Yeah, might have been game 2 or game 3, trailed. Right? Because it was like game 2 or game 3 when the game was really close, really tight. And Draymond Green's excellent defense was excellent in the closeout of that game because Curry showed up, Thompson showed up, and this Warriors team is giving me, like you said, 2018-19 vibes because just how hungry they are. And, can we just say that dunk by Andrew Wiggins was the dunk of the year? I mean,
Utah, that was offensive. It was poor Luka. He tried to flop midair to get that offensive foul. There ain't no way you could call that off.
Well, I can call your internet signal offensive, but
I'll give you an interesting comparison that they compared on ESPN.
Oh, there he goes.
But listen, I'll give you an interesting comparison. Richard Jefferson on ESPN said that the Golden State Warriors, how they were 2015, 16, 17, then they took a break and came back. They're the Chicago Bulls of the 90s. The 90s had Horace Grant on that one run.
Yep.
And then they had Horace Grant on that one run. And then after 2 years later, after Jordan retired, came back, he had Steve Kerr in them. Same thing. Golden State in their previous dynasty had Kevin Durant, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston. Then after 2-3 years layoff, they come back. Now they got Jordan Poole, Kevon Looney, guys like that.
Yep.
Jonathan Kuminga. And here's my thing. They're doing a lot. Like Draymond's high IQ is one of the most important things that they have on their team. It's the most important thing they have on their team because it's taking them so far because he's such a smart player on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. We're going to talk about the East, but any one of those teams that wants to beat Golden State, you got to have an IQ to beat Golden State. You got to be smart. If you ain't going to beat smart, I don't care who you are, you're not going to beat Golden State.
Very true.
And that's just that.
Anybody else? How about let's go with Steven. Your thoughts on the Dallas Golden State series. And one thing I also want to say is that about that dunk with Andrew Wiggins. I watched that live as it happened. Dude, I saw Luka's soul leave his body for a minute. I swear to God. He looked like Yam. If you're a Dragon Ball Z, you know this. He looks like Yamcha every time Yamcha got killed in the series. If you notice, crumpled laying in the middle of the crater. Yeah. If you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you might know that reference.
Oh yeah.
So but yeah, that was an awesome dunk. And then a couple of minutes later, he had a cool putback too as well. Off I believe it was a Steph Curry off of a Steph Curry jump shot that didn't go into the rim. Wiggins was able to put that back for two. It kind of very similar almost in a way to dunk I mentioned a couple weeks ago, and that was the infamous Taj Gibson dunk on Dwayne Wade conference playoffs from, I think, 2011 or
2011. Yep.
2011. That's what it was very reminiscent of. Was that powerful dunk and then the putback from Andrew Wiggins again. So definitely great performance. Andrew Wiggins to me has been the unsung hero of that Golden State team. You know,
yes, he has.
Everybody focuses on Curry, Thompson, Jordan Poole, and you know what? They should focus on them guys because them guys are fucking great. I mean, come on, Jordan Poole has become basically outside of the two brothers. Jordan Poole is the star of these playoffs. He's come literally out of nowhere and made a presence for himself. That's one thing I will say is how deep their starting line, how deep their bench is, how deep their starting lineup is. It's proven they're full of killers. They're full of shooters. Yes. They're full of sharpshooters that can make you pay any chance you get. You leave them open for a split second, they're going to drop that three. You leave that space in the paint open, they're going to drive and get that basket and possibly the foul. So, you know, but yeah, Andrew Wiggins to me, the unsung hero of this series. Great defensive plays, great overall shots. The guy's great in the paint. The guy's great outside. He can do it all. It's just that I think he finally found himself a team in Golden State where he can really showcase that.
He's in a perfect place. Like, he's in a perfect place because when he got drafted to Cleveland, LeBron James already said, you ain't worth the shit. I want to trade you anyway from the start. Goes to Minnesota, expected to score all the points, and that's just not him. No, and now he goes to Golden State where all we ask you to do is, hey, play defense. Are their best player. And you know what? Wiggins has willingly done that. When Tyus Jones was killing Golden State when they lost by 39 in Memphis, Wiggins came to coach and Draymond and said, hey, I got that guy. And let me pick him up full court and I'll guard him the whole game. You know how many Tyus Jones had in game 6? 0. 0 points for Tyus Jones on 0 for 6 shooting with guarded by Andrew Wiggins. He has clearly made life hell for people. And he ain't nothing but a upgrade from Harrison Barnes from 2016.
Excellent
And you know where he came from, like Steve Kerr said? He came from the result of the Kevin Durant saga. Kevin Durant left. Golden State got D'Angelo Russell in the sign and trade. They threw the cards out and said, you know what's going to work? They sat down with Bob Myers, said, here's what's going to work. We need a two-way defender at small forward. We're going to trade D'Angelo Russell to the Minnesota Timberwolves for their first-round pick, which is James Wiseman, who can be a star, and Andrew Wiggins. So win-win for Golden State on that one.
But my thoughts on this series, it's very simple. And just reading, reading the stats and all this different stuff about this Mavericks Warriors series is the fact that Luka's role players, for the most part, have not shown up, for the most part. Yeah, his backup guards are showing up. Brunson and Dinwiddie are showing out and playing their asses off. But just Bullock not showing up. None of these guys, their power forwards, their centers are not showing up and playing consistent basketball. And just 0 for 10 shooting in game 3. Come on, you got to be better than that. I mean, Golden State has too many snipers on that offensive end and that defensive side of the ball. And when you got Curry and Thompson and Wiggins and Draymond Green and Jordan Poole and oh my goodness. I mean, I can keep going on the line of the roster because they are so deep right now. And just the way Golden State is playing consistent ball, they are the best team left in these playoffs. And even though they were a number 3 seed, they were overlooked because Phoenix was the hottest ticket in town, or so they thought. And I think Phoenix took this year for granted because they thought that, we can just cruise through the second round and get to the Western Conference Finals and face Golden State and have competition. But no, you got to play all the rounds and play all the games when they count, especially in the postseason. And Golden State right now is just playing absolute phenomenal basketball. And Luka's playing great, averaging 32 points a game, and he's playing great. But the help is not consistently there. I mean, these games have been close. I mean, 126 to 117 in game 2, 109 to 100 in game 3. I mean, these games are still pretty close, but Golden State just has too many firepower weapons on offense. And the Mavericks, unfortunately, I think their time is up. And I think they're going to go down tonight. They're going to go down with a fight, but I think they're going to get swept. and Golden State will await Miami and Boston in the East Finals. Golden State just the better team.
Steph Curry is obviously going to win the Magic Johnson Western Conference Final MVP award, obviously.
Yep.
Averaging 32 a game in the playoffs. So,
I mean, he's a man on a mission, and even though they won 3 championships, they still had that hunger, that desire to win another ring, because after losing the finals to Toronto in 2019 and losing especially the 3-1 series lead 6 years ago against LeBron and Kyrie in Cleveland, in Game 7 on your home floor, the vengeance is there in these Warriors and also in Steve Kerr, because Steve Kerr is just a hell of a coach. I mean, he knows how to coach. He knows these plays. He knows these players very well. And acquiring Wiggins was a huge asset for them because he has helped them absolutely tremendously.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Randy, do you have any thoughts on this series?
Well, yeah, I mean, Golden State's just playing on another level. They have shown time after time, even last year trying to get into the play-in games and all that, is that team basketball wins. And they've done it right. And people like to hate on them or whatever because of Durant went there and all that. He just wanted to play for a team. You can't blame him. He wants to know what it's like to play a good team structure, good team, everything. He went to Brooklyn and found himself back at Oklahoma City, basically, with those, selfish, one-on-one players and all that. But Golden State went out every time just playing straight up basketball and fundamentals. I mean, you said it best. They don't have to shoot all the threes in this series. They just go inside. There ain't nobody there to stop them. And it's not like they're like that much bigger than Dallas, but they're just skilled and they know where to be, what to do. They run the right plays, and I think Dallas will get there though. They need a center or another scorer, and the sky's the limit. And it sucks that Luka gets lumped into that thing that James Harden comparison, because I think James Harden is probably one of the worst players of all time. But Luka is where it's at. I mean, I never seen a player like this guy. His height, he looks like he's just out, like he's playing another game than everyone else is. He looks like a video game. He's just out there real slow and easy. If you were to do something, you could click off of him and he would stand in the corner with his arms up. Like a play.
Kevin would have done that. He would have done that easily. He would have just stood up. Hey, here I am, shoot the 3, boom.
No, but you know what?
I've never seen anything like that guy, and he's only going to get better. And yeah, somebody was saying today, next 10, 12 years, if they can get some help, and it's not like Mark Cuban's not going to spend the money to do it.
Randy,
I'd love to see that for him, but the time will tell.
But see, Randy, my thing with the Mavericks is, I mean, you have caliber players like Bullock and all these guys on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, see, Luka has the players, Bullock and Dinwiddie and Brunson. I mean, these guys are really, they're really good, but they're really missing Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, when Hardaway Jr. is there and he's healthy, he's an X factor with Luka. But when Bullock is not showing up and shooting the ball well in Game 3, I mean, that you just can't have that. I mean,
maybe his hair was in the way. I don't know.
Maybe, or if that was LeBron, his hairline would have been in the damn way, anyways. But
I think you guys. I think what
LeBron's forehead is so forward, he needs his own parking space.
No, I think what the Mavericks need is a true rim protector.
Sure.
Honestly,
absolutely.
Rudy Gobert is obviously on the market. Go ahead. And honestly, if I have to give Brunson or Dinwiddie away, I'm willing to do that to get a guy like Gobert, somebody who's going to be inside and give you a presence. And here's the problem with Luka. I have the only problem, Randy. The reason why he draws the James Harden comparisons is because of the dwindle the shot clock down to 0 before you make a move. You can't do that against Golden State.
I do
Their
agree.
defense is too good to play down to the shot clock. Then the problem about on the defensive end is because he's slow, like you said, you admit, like we all admit he's slow, but he's so fundamentally sound. But that slowness catches you up because what they're doing is putting him in the pick and roll, and then he gets switched on to Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, and guess what?
That's
crossover, drive right by him, and no rim protectors. They're getting all over. They're getting behind Luka.
You know what?
That's why he's minus in the series because they're just scoring all over him. That's horrible.
This Mavericks team, y'all, reminds me of the team that was the 2017 when they won. What was it like? 67 games. They had no rim protector, and then when they got Tyson Chandler for that championship run in 2010, 2011, they had their rim protector.
Made a world of difference.
Exactly.
But I do give props for Mark Cuban because Kristaps Porzingis was a fucking teddy bear. He ain't nothing. That the best thing they did was trade him away for Spencer Dinwiddie because you got a 6th Man of the Year candidate who balled his ass off.
And Spencer Dinwiddie, when he gets hot, he gets hot.
And I love him. Brooklyn fucked up by giving away Jared Allen and Dinwiddie for those bums and Kyrie and Harden and them. Yeah, they fucked up.
Imagine that. You know what? He's decent when he gets going. I would get rid of Bullock. I mean, he's all right, but I would get rid of Bullock.
0 for 10? Get out of here.
Get rid of Bullock.
You're out of Dallas.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Fuck out of here.
The only other knock I heard Mark Jackson say, and he's totally right, is that Luka is probably not in the best shape. I mean, I'm not one to say anything about anybody being in shape, but for the NBA and for him to still do all that and not be in shape is scary.
And also, Randy, to your point as well. I mean, Luka, he was out for a couple of games in that first round and came back, and he's been playing great. But I don't think he's truly healthy. And Ezra, you've been saying this for the last couple of weeks, but Devin Booker, we believe came back early. And Kevin, I wonder, do you agree with that? Because we believe that Devin Booker came back a little bit way too early, and it wore him out.
Because Kevin, if you think about this was you got to think Devin Booker at the time, and I hate to go too far back because I definitely want to get into the rest of this and then get into the Miami Boston series. But the thing was, Devin Booker was supposed to be out 4 weeks with that injury. He came back in one game and played, but because of that, it didn't seem like he played the same. It wasn't the same Devin Booker that we were used to, that lethal scorer, that guy who could get in the paint, shoot for whatever distance he can and make big baskets. It just didn't seem like that same Devin Booker that we've come to know throughout the regular season. As soon as he got injured, he wasn't the same, and then he tried to come back too early. I think it's my opinion is he came back too early and that injury was still fucking with him. So when he came back, he wasn't able to score. He wasn't able to do his usual gameplay because of that injury.
And you know what, Ezra? I completely agree because when you watch that Mavericks and Suns series, I know we see it now that Dallas's defense is a hot garbage when they're trying to chase Golden State, but with Devin Booker being hurt, he was compromised. He can't explode, so it made Dallas look like, oh, their defense is legit. Their defense is doing that, but Booker just couldn't score like he's supposed to. He ain't got his legs under him to get that jump shot right because your legs are your number one source for shooting the basketball. It comes in your core and your legs, so your legs messed up. You're off balance trying to shoot. You can't score. You obviously can't explode off that leg to try to get any drive action going on a pick and roll. So Phoenix was compromised, but back to the Luka situation, Luka, I don't think he's not in shape. I think he could get quicker on his feet because I got to give Luka his credit to be able to chase around Steph Curry, be involved on defense and get killed all the time on defense and having to spend excrude all that energy on defense and still give you 40 on the offensive end. He's in shape. Fatigue's not causing him not to shoot. I think he needs to get quicker on his feet, maybe do some agility drills this summer, maybe get laterally better so he can defend somebody, maybe drive better, like be able to drive. So I think he's in shape. He just can add to his physical appearance, maybe slim down a little bit, maybe lose a little weight to maybe, and it might give him some more quickness laterally because, like, scientifically, it's damn near impossible for someone over 200 pounds to be shifty like a John Morant, for Christ's sake. But you do want Luka to get a little shiftier if he's going to play point guard. But that's all I would say for Luka. But also, one hell of a job Jason Kidd's done. He's one hell of a coach.
Oh, yeah. To me, Kidd is the coach of the year for what he's done with this Mavericks team. Like, I know they're going to say, oh, Monty Williams. No, I'm sorry. Jason Kidd has taken this Mavericks team to a whole new level.
Here's the one thing I will give Luka a lot of credit because of a guy his size, over 200 pounds, and he's what, like 6'8", 6'9"? He's a tall, lengthy, rangy guy. And he's out there keeping up with Steph Curry, who is one of the best guys when it comes to agility, explosiveness, quickness. Curry's got that in space. And to keep up with Curry, kind of like keeping up with somebody, if you were to talk about somebody older point guards of the era, maybe from 10, 15 years ago, you talk about some of the fast point guards. You talk about like a Ricky Rubio, for instance. He was hard. He was quick on his feet. You look at some of the harder point guards to keep up with who are speedy. Let me tell you, man, Luka's doing a hell of a job doing it too, keeping up and then going, like you said, going back, playing defense and trying to doing all that. I give him the credit in the world for that. Like you said, if he needs to do some agility drills and all that to get himself faster on his feet and be able to box Curry in better, that could be a possibility. But to me, I think with this Dallas series, I think, yes, while they're probably going to end up losing it in quick fashion, this is going to be a learning experience for both Luka, and this is going to be a learning experience for Jason Kidd as a coach. He hasn't been a coach for long, Jason hasn't. I agree with you.
Oh, no.
He should be coach of the year. He should get that coach of the year spot 100%. The guy has done so much in such a short amount of time. He turned this team into a team that lost their biggest star in their team's history, Dirk Nowitzki, to retirement. It took that team, helped rebuild it in a sense, came back, and now they're in one of the best spots they could be. Yes, while it's not the NBA finals, it's still it's a very, very great big step in the right direction. And I think this is only going to make things better for Dallas because with Jason Kidd having that year under his belt as a head coach, learning from this, along with Luka and along with all the other guys, Brunson, like you said, Bullock, freaking Dinwiddie, it allows him to see, okay, we did this right, we did this right, we did this wrong. How do we fix this? And then that's where he goes with management. That's where he goes with the owners. Mark Cuban figures it out. Okay, we can fix this. And it allows him to gain more experience as a head coach and maybe be better next season. Maybe we'll see Dallas in the NBA finals going for that trophy. Who knows?
Absolutely.
I'll give you a bold prediction or bold woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
I predict that if Jason Kidd was the head coach of the Memphis Grizzlies, that series goes game 7. I predict it. I think Golden State still wins because of Jason Kidd's inexperience, but Jason Kidd in this series, Steve Kerr is probably one of the, other than Greg Popovich, one of the best coaches in basketball, hands down, top 3 easily. So Jason Kidd just drew the short end of the stick by having to go against a coach like that because he sure as hell took Monty Williams to school, and Monty Williams is top 10, no doubt. And he took Monty Williams to school. But there's so much you can do with Golden State when, like, you try – okay, Steph is going off, so what do we try to do? We try to trap Steph Curry after the pick. You know what ends up happening? Steph Curry passes it to Draymond, leading it to a 4-on-3 fast break, and you're asking one of the best point forwards in all of NBA history with the basketball passing to lead a fast break, essentially, and they're killing Dallas. Dallas just don't have no answer. Oh, we don't trap Steph Curry? He hits 3 or 4 straight threes on us. We trap Steph Curry. Draymond gets an alley-oop to the rim with somebody. It's just pick your poison, how you want to lose. And Jason Kidd's just going to go to the drawing board this summer. He's going to draw it up. He's going to get it rolling. And I want to see you guys succeed. Hall of Fame point guard, I want to see him succeed.
Excellent points. Joey, what's your thoughts on this series?
Yeah, Joey, you're the low man who hasn't given a fucking opinion. Let's go, buddy. What's your opinion on this series?
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be brutally honest, you guys have pretty much hit nails on the coffin. The Warriors are playing just an absolute superstar level right now. Whatever Curry don't do is whatever Klay Thompson does, and whatever he don't do, Jordan Poole does. It's just like it goes back and forth between the Warriors, and it's been back and forth pretty much not just the regular season but the postseason too. Curry, Thompson, Poole, Green, Looney. You got all those players on Golden State who are just playing lights out, and they and all these other teams out there try to stop them. And I will admit it does work sometimes, but it doesn't work all the time because the Warriors just have so many ways to pass the ball around. They have that team chemistry there that is able to get them a foul or two, a dunk, a layup, a jump shot, or a 3-pointer, or shoot, even a half-court shot for crying out loud. I mean, the Warriors are just a very complete team who is giving everybody a run for their money. And I mean, there's not really much more I can say, but just the fact that if Golden State continues to play like they are right now, they are going to be a surefire guarantee to win the NBA Finals. It don't matter who they play. Now, if it's Boston, it might be a competitive 7-game series, but if it's Miami, I see it going no more than 5, maybe 6. But right now, Golden State is just a very complete team with complete playmakers who know how to play basketball, who knows where they need to be at all times, and they got a surefire coach who is, I mean, like you said, Kevin, one of the best coaches in the NBA right now. So, I mean, there's not really much I can say about Golden State other than the fact they're just a great team.
Absolutely. Real quick before we get to the Miami Boston series, real quick, I want to shout out a couple people in the chat. Of course, we got to shout out our buddy here, Randy Giron's father, William, who is in the chat. Shout out to him. Hello, good sir. Shout out to my buddy, Jeff Grice, who I work with at Meyer. Jeff, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Jeff?
Yep, my buddy Jeff Grice. He's probably the biggest NBA fan I know, outside of some of the respective crew here. So shout out to Jeff. I will see you at work tomorrow night. Oh yeah, by the way, my buddy Jeff knows this impression. It's our former boss. Hey Jeff, how's it going? There we go. Okay. yes. Let you know our boss does talk like that. I don't know what happened. I think he stopped hitting puberty at like the age of 30. He stuck in between puberty and adulthood, and I think his voice got caught there.
he's either teen from The Simpsons. It works at every single establishment they have.
Terrific.
And then we got to give a shout out to, of course, our buddy Tony Justice, the world's greatest truck driver. Yeah. Shout out to him. Of course, he's our ultimate Metallica fan here in the crew. So shout out to Tony Justice as well. Shout out to them. And then, of course, I want to get into, real quick on an injury note. Of course, Otto Porter Jr. will be out tonight for Game 4 due to a foot injury that he sustained in Game 3. So we will not be seeing Otto Porter Jr. play tonight. But otherwise, the Warriors will have the majority of their stars. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's get into the Miami Boston series. Right now, it is a close contended series right now, tied at 2 apiece. Boston with a huge game last night. With an absolute collapse for Miami, Boston leading as many as 31, ended up winning the game by 20. So to me, I think this is going to be, this could be a momentum shift for Miami. Of course, Boston won that game 102-82. Quick, my dog is barking. Nice. My mom must be home. Real quick, Jimmy Butler in that game.
He's happy about the Celtics winning game 4.
Yeah, this series.
No. He's actually barking at Miami because how bad they suck. But
this series is going to the dogs, is what he's trying to say.
Oh, that was even worse than my dad jokes.
Yes, 100%.
Jimmy Butler, right now 6 points. 6 points in that last game only. The main scorers were Robinson Martin and, of course, Victor Oladipo. Oladipo at 23, but everybody else, all the starters, scored no more than 9 points.
Yeah.
Like, how bad is that? Like, and they were down by, like I said, down as many as 31 in the third quarter before losing by 20. Excuse me. So I want to get your guys' thoughts on this series. And by the way, tomorrow. Next game will be tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern on, of course, ESPN. And then so we got that going for us on that. Let's start with Joe. I want to get your thoughts on the Miami Boston series and who you predict is going to take Game 5, because this has been a pretty unpredictable series. And also, real quick injury note: Tyler Hero will still be out for tonight. It looks like Tyler Hero will still be out for Game 5 coming up. So no Tyler Hero.
Well, I mean, we're 4 games into this Miami Boston series, and if I am both teams right now, I should be concerned, not because of what's going on out west, but because of what's going on in your own series. Because, I mean, yeah, it's been a competitive aspect to the point where both teams are tied at 2 wins apiece right now. But in those games that we have all seen, where has the competition been? Because it's obvious that if one team has a bad game and one team has a great game in one of the games, whenever the second game rolls around, it's like the roles are being reversed. I mean, the team that had a bad game has a great game, and the team that had a great game just flat out sucks. I mean, that's pretty much all what we've seen in this Miami-Boston series. I mean, yeah, you got the all-star players out there like Jimmy G Buckets for Miami, as well as Bam Adebayo and Harrow whenever he's been healthy, and Oladipo, who's slowly starting to make a name for himself in this series for Miami. And then you got Grant Williams, Marcus Smart, whenever he's been healthy for Boston, along with Brown and Jason Tatum, of course. But, I mean, yeah, you got those star players out there, but it's like, I don't know. It's like the competitive phase of the series has not been there for either game, because every game in which Boston and Miami has won has been an absolute blowout, except for maybe the first game, which actually no, because Boston was actually winning that game before they blew it. But yeah, the competitive aspect of the series, it just hasn't been there. And I kind of hope we start to see a little bit of it in Game 5, and possibly if this series goes 7 games, see it in Games 5, 6, and 7. But I mean, seeing as how both teams do not have a competitive aspect out there on the floor as far as what we've seen in the first 4 games, I'd be concerned about that, because if you're not going to have a competitive aspect in the Eastern Conference Finals, what makes you think you're going to get or have a competitive aspect in the NBA Finals when it all counts? So
that's right.
That's just my 2 cents, if you ask me.
Yep. Of course. Let's go with Randy. Randy, you're next.
Yeah, those are great points, Joe. I agree. I mean, it seems like no one wants to win this series. They're just not showing up, it seems, in like I said, in the other game. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But if I'm Golden State, not to go back to that, but if I'm Golden State, I'm just trying to close tonight out and sit around and get healthy and let these guys beat the crap out of each other for another 3 games, because that's what it looks like it's going to have to happen. They're gonna need more than 7 games, it seems, to settle this series. I mean, it's unbelievable how no one wants to take the drive, and it seems like each team just dictates their own pace and then runs away with it in each game, and it's crazy. I haven't seen anything like that, and
Yep.
we'll see what happens. I mean, I think both teams would give Golden State, or put Dallas in there to give them a run. I mean, but it's a team basketball win every time, and I don't know. Boston seems to be the better team playing out of the East, and we'll have to wait and see just how if they're even healthy. I mean, Smart's has been dealing with everything, and these whole playoffs. I mean, we talk about playing hurt like Chris Paul. I mean, that Tyler Hero, I'm not sure what's going on with him.
He's got a groin injury.
Yeah, he needs to man up, and see if he can play. I don't know if I was in the NBA and got making all that money and all that and what's on the line. I try to do my best to play.
Exactly.
I know that much. I know that much.
Because Kobe, during his playoff career with the Lakers, always played through nagging injuries. It didn't matter if it was a knee injury, a groin injury, leg injury, whatever the hell it may be, ankle injuries, whatever. Kobe went out there, played his ass off, and did the damn thing.
I don't remember hearing so many injuries. I mean, when I watched basketball, I'm an old cat. I watched basketball in the 80s. I don't remember those teams ever missing any players.
Exactly. And see,
I don't remember that, man.
And I was actually thinking about this the other day. At work, I was talking to a guy who is like a big LeBron James fan, and I told him, I was like, listen, if LeBron James would have played in the 70s, 80s, 90s days, LeBron wouldn't be anywhere near the success of
not even close
of what he's been right now, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, ever since those 70s, 80s, 90s roughhousing days, the NBA has gone soft.
Very soft.
100%.
It has gone soft. I am not gonna lie to you guys. I mean, if you were to take players like John Morant, Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and put them in the Bill Laimbeer, Charles Oakley, Dennis Rodman days, they get their butts tore up night in and night out.
Oh yeah,
John Sally, Rick Mahorn. Oh my gosh,
even close.
David Robinson, Tim Duncan.
Oh yes.
Of course. Of course, when the league is as soft as it is, of course, you take a player like LeBron James, put him in that physical style of the 90s, you put him in that time period, LeBron is going to get eaten alive because he's going to try and take a call for fouls. That's not the way it worked back in the day. I was young. Yes, I may be only 30 years old, but I knew back in the day how tough those teams were, whether it was the Pistons, whether it was the Bulls, whether it was the Spurs or whoever. Those teams back in the day were tough SOBs who got physical, and it didn't matter. There was no ticky-tack bullshit calls back in the day. If LeBron were to be there, if James Harden were to be there, if Kyrie were to be there, hell, if fucking Luka were to be there, guess what? It's same result. There would be no fouls called because it's a tough game. Nowadays, if you even tap somebody on the shoulder, they fucking call a technical on your ass.
Yep.
But I don't want to get into a whole rules thing. I want to keep the Miami Boston discussion.
I forgot to give my Game 5 pick. I'm going to go with Boston in Game 5, but I mean, Boston and Miami, they just need to step it up competitively, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I see Boston winning this series eventually, but it's just you got like you said, they got to step it up. Who wants it more? You at least prove that you want it more. Don't just win it out because the other teams, like Kevin's name says, is hot garbage. I mean, win it because you won it, because you put it 3 games together, and you prove that you are the best team in the East. Not because like either team is playing like crap. I mean, prove it.
It's been a weird series, just the ebb and the flow. Like none of the games have really been close. Now the game in Game 3 was said it was close, 109 to 103. The box score may say that, but Miami was up 46-20 in the second quarter. I mean, Boston had to make a huge run to get back into the game, and the damage was done because they turned the ball over so many times in game 3. It's been a weird game. And then last night in game 4, Boston just flat out kicked the crap out of the Heat, and it was over from the start, 18-1. It looked like the Patriots record or the Bears record. It's been a weird series. This series reminds me, it's a hot potato, of a series. This reminds me of Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair in 2016 for WWE, passing around that Raw Women's Championship. Hey, I'll win it. No, you win it. No, I win it. No, you win it. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Who wants it more? Because to me, Boston is the better team. And Miami, they have some good players, but they're not playing consistent, especially Jimmy G. Buckets Butler. Butler was so bad last night. 6 points, 3 of 14 from the field. That is not going to get it done, good sir. Tyler Hero out with the groin injury. And Kevin, you said it today on our Facebook message boards in our chat that Victor Oladipo had more points than the entire Miami starting 5, who had 18. He had 23. That is piss poor pathetic.
That's what it is.
Kevin?
It's terrible.
This series is I don't know what to say about this series. It's horrible. It's non-competitive.
It's terrible
for a conference finals. This is worse than the LeBron James, Cleveland, and Atlanta series from 2015, 2016. It's horrible. The biggest question I'm worried coming out of this whole series is who the fuck is going to go down next, because all the injuries, all the problems, everybody's banged up. I know, speaking from an athlete, what Marcus Smart is going through, it did not surprise me. He could come back and play in game 3 when he hurt his ankle, because you got adrenaline flowing, you got blood flowing. But once you sleep on that ankle, as bad as he turned it, I knew he couldn't hardly walk on it. He might miss the rest of the series, to be honest with you, because of an ankle, because I know it's going to be hard on him. To be honest, speaking from a former athlete, I know he's not going to be 100%, at least for 4 weeks. He might be less than 70% if he's back anyway, because that looked like a grade 3 ankle sprain to me, and that's awful. Robert Williams has been in and out. Tatum looked like he got a damn separated shoulder. So my pick is I'm going to go Boston in 7, because they have an offensive player and Miami does not. But if these guys keep getting banged up like they are, and these guys keep playing as inconsistent as they are, and I know it sounds a little biased, but I got Golden State can sweep any one of them, or win in 5 in either one.
No, you're not wrong.
But all I'm going to say is I got Golden State and Boston in the finals. I think a healthy Boston Celtics team and a consistent Celtics team. I'm still going Warriors, but I'm going to say Warriors in 7. If Boston is anything less, I'm going Warriors in 6. Miami, I think for 5 either way, healthy or not, because you don't have the offense. If Dallas ain't got the offensive firepower with Luka to compete with Steph, I damn sure know that Miami ain't got no firepower to compete with Steph and them boys. But Boston's going to win because of the fact they got Tatum, who is asserting himself as right on the outside of being top 5 in the league. And Miami does not. They got Butler, and Hero, he looks like Boston's defense bothers him. And that's one thing I can say about teams with experience like Golden State. It don't matter what defense you throw at them, they're going to find a way to win. Memphis probably had the best defense in the whole playoffs in my eyes, and they still found a way to win. Boston has got a legit defense. Miami's got an elite defense, but the biggest concern I have is who's going to be in the hospital next. If Tatum goes down, I don't think Boston wins. I think Miami has
absolutely agree with that.
More potential down there than if Tatum goes down, it might be a wrap. Yep. But good thing is Tatum's tough too. So if Tatum just plays and scores 25 a game, the Celtics should win in 7. But like you said, the league is soft. I just want to bring up one point about it. It's crazy because you know why NBA games last 3-4 hours right now? It's because after every fucking foul, the refs have to go to the monitor to review for a possible flagrant 1. Oh, we're going to check for a flagrant 1 foul. we're going to change for a flagrant 2 foul. I'm like, wait a minute, stop
the
it.
freaking challenges. I mean, come on.
Oh,
the challenges. Oh, we're going to challenge this play. We're going to challenge that play. Come on. This is not freaking baseball, for God's sakes. Come on.
And I don't want to backtrack, but they literally called an offensive foul on the Andrew Wiggins dunk. But I've watched guys like Kobe absolutely dominate Yao Ming down low and dunk on his head. And, we didn't call nothing. I watched Michael Jordan literally posterize people. I watched Scottie Pippen literally get over Patrick Ewing and throw him down to the damn floor. But, they don't call nothing. Nowadays,
Kevin.
Luka flopped midair and, foul, offensive foul. What?
Remember this dunk, Kevin, from 11 years ago, when Kevin Durant absolutely assaulted Brandon Haywood. It was bad. It was bad, really bad. And come on. I mean, when you give a player that look what I just did to you, that's like you're taking their soul. And when Wiggins dropped that sledgehammer over Luka, like you said, Ezra, his soul left his body, for a second or two. And come on, I mean, Wiggins was feeling the adrenaline from that play, because how could you not? That was the single best dunk of this year, and it wasn't even the damn dunk contest.
And you know what? I think the refs honestly need to just swallow their whistle sometimes, because, and you know what's really changed it? It's the fact that the league is changing, but it's also the fact there's so many fucking crybabies who cry after every knick-knack foul. And I don't want to be, because I love Luka, but Luka's one of them. He cries if he don't, like, if you touch him the wrong way, he'll cry. And I love Luka, but that's not good basketball. Nope. LeBron cries. Oh, he touched me wrong. That's a foul. That's a foul. James
Kyrie.
That's a foul. That's a foul. Kyrie. That's a foul. There's certain superstars in the league that ain't gonna complain. Jimmy Butler being one, I can honestly say he doesn't cry about knick-knack fouls. Curry don't cry about knick-knack fouls. Like stuff, people like that. Kevin Durant don't even cry about knick-knack fouls. But you got certain people that get touched wrong. Oh, that's against the rules. That says it in the rule book. You can't touch me. Crying and crying and crying and crying.
James Harden.
And I'm like, this.
Where's the foul?
And remember that other dunk, which was absolutely violated, and I hate it because I watched it live, and that was the LeBron James alley-oop on Jason Terry. Oh, if that was today, it would have been called an offensive foul. Yeah, he absolutely threw him straight on his face in midair. That would have been called an offensive foul today. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I agree with you guys' opinions. I think that Boston is going to win this game, and I think it's still going to be. They're going to win it in 6. That's my opinion. If they think you could extend to 7 if Miami gets their shit together, but I highly doubt it with Tyler Hero being out, and they're just in their inability to produce scoring, and the only people scoring are like Jimmy Butler, Victor Oladipo, whoever it is. They need to have more even scoring, and players need to step up. And that's the problem, is they don't have players that are stepping up to make these plays happen.
See, my thing is if Miami wins game 5, it goes 7. But if Boston wins game 5, it's over in 6, because Miami wins on game 5 on their home floor. They're supposed to win on game 5 in their home floor because it's their home court. But Boston needs to take game 5 to show them that, hey, we are here to win on the road, because no road team, with the exception of Miami, I take that back. Both teams have swapped wins on each other's home floor, but in blowout fashions. But I really, truly think that if Boston wants to swing the momentum on their side, they have to take game 5. But if Miami takes game 5, it's going to 7 for sure. And if there is a game 7, it's going to be a rather interesting situation, with both teams winning on each other's floors.
Oh, yeah. And you got Golden State on the other side who's just chilling. Most likely, not a guaranteed they win tonight, but most likely they're going to be chilling for a week, eating their popcorn, getting healthy, putting ice on their body and chilling, watching Miami and Boston just beat each other up to a bloody pulp. And another interesting fact, if Golden State does advance, they have a better record than both Miami and Boston, so they have home court for the NBA Finals.
Yep.
If that's where to go. So not only does Boston and Miami have to beat each other up and go to game 7, like I predict, but then 2-3 days later, you got to turn around and travel out to California. They're going to be beat up, like truly beat up.
Yep. I agree with that. Let's go ahead and real quick before we move on, or before we move on here, guys, we gotta let's get into some NBA quick news notes here. As I pull this up, right here is that according to Adrian Wojnarowski, is that Denver Nuggets president Tim Connolly agreed to re-sign with Denver. That in that contract that'll make him one of the NBA's highest compensated executives. Connolly will sign a 5-year, $40 million plus deal that includes ownership equity. So yeah, Tim Connolly sticking around for Minnesota. Also, let's talk about this real quick. And it is that right here, what was it? There was Adrian also reported this, that there's more optimism that Boston's Robert Williams will return to the lineup. Than Marcus Smart in Game 4 versus Miami tonight. So there's that for you. But also we got to talk about this, kind of hilarious, especially since we don't like the Lakers, and that is that Michigan coach Juwan Howard recently declined a overture on the franchising on the head coaching job for the Lakers.
Good decision, sir.
Good decision.
Because he knows if I go to the Lakers, I am fucked forever.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't want to be associated with LeBron James, and he knew what was right. He knew what was wrong, and he made the right decision. So good for you, sir. Sorry, LeBron, your former team at Miami, not going there. Goodbye.
Yep.
And we all sit here and rejoice.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Other news is that it was announced today that the NBA draft will be hosted by the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna host the NBA Finals.
How many Brooklyn friends are going to be there? Oh, wait, 0? Oh, oops.
The only time the Barclays Center fills up is when WWE comes there.
That's right. Yeah.
And it has to be a SmackDown. It's not a Raw.
Wait, I got it. What if a fan jumps to court and attacks like Kyrie? Like, what the hell you do, Kyrie? And it'd be looking like the scene from the Hall of Fame when that jackass jumped the ring and attacked Bret Hart. Like, I understand that net fan got pissed off at Kyrie because Kyrie had a job to do, get vaccinated and play, in the regular season. And what did he do in the playoffs? Absolutely dog crap. So,
hey, I find it funny we talk about cities. I found out why Dallas tend to been struggling so much in this series, and it's the fact that Dak Prescott has been in attendance for all 3 of those games with the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh my goodness! But the way that Dallas is playing, it's just oof. Yeah, no wonder. Dak Prescott, good job, Prescott.
Any Cowboy needs to leave the facility ASAP.
Yeah.
Do not come to this game. You are cursed.
We're looking for donations. Salvation Army.
Hey, at least the good news is Dak is in the building, so at least he has the feeling of a deep playoff run.
Yeah.
Ouch.
He doesn't know what it's like. Yeah.
Something he'll know nothing about.
Prescott will never see the NFC Championship game and or Super Bowl in his lifetime.
Anyways, moving forward to other news before we get too deep into a discussion about how bad Dallas sucks. Bulls and the Pistons are going to be in the regular season game in Paris.
Nice.
Yep.
Interesting.
I think the NBA is going to ship them over there and not bring them back. Okay, go on to Paris. Go on to Paris.
No. If anything, the Pistons will get left in Chicago. The Bulls will come back.
I think the Lakers should play in Paris or England because they'll get left behind.
They'll call them the Paris Baguettes.
Hey, these tickets are only one way. Wait a minute.
These tickets are only 10 francs. Oh, I wonder why.
And then I wonder why they're suspending all of our passports after we get ready to come back.
You know what? The NBA does not.
By the way, I just wanted to let you know. That the Miami Heat are currently being sued for defamation of character for impersonating a good basketball team.
Oof!
Ouch!
Anyways, moving forward, but this game will be on January 19, 2023. That'll be when the game will take place.
That'll be our last day in America.
Yeah.
It's over.
Au revoir, Detroit.
Come on, Detroit.
Wee-wee.
Minutes.
We.
Encore!
Oh my god!
Wait, tell that to the Lakers.
Oh my god, we're idiots.
Oh, no, wait, Chris Paul, encore. Yeah, you still suck.
Some good news. Zach LaVine underwent successful left knee surgery today, which is good news. We know that LaVine is scheduled to meet with several teams, including the Lakers, including a couple others, to explore a little free agency. The Bulls, though, have said that they are confident that they will re-sign him to a contract and keep him around in Chicago. We'll see what happens. This is going to be interesting to say the least.
Oh yeah,
it will be interesting, and also be interesting to see the Bulls, or not really just the Bulls, but if Lonzo Ball will be able to make a comeback next year.
Yeah, because Lonzo Ball has been dealing with some injuries himself, and it's been debilitating him as of late. So hopefully we'll see Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball was a very key component when he was healthy last year. He was a very key component to some of the Bulls' success. While he did have major point games, he still helped out whenever it counted. So I'll give him credit. But let's go ahead and move forward to some NFL news. I know we had a few NFL news notes, I think, since this past week. It's been the world-famous Rooney Rule that has been around for a while will be applied to vacant quarterback coach positions.
All right.
This was passed by this was passed at this year's spring league meeting, according to Michael Baca of NFL.com. It says vacant quarterback coach positions are now subject to the Rooney Rule. The ruling means NFL teams are now required to conduct outside interviews when a minority female candidate for vacant quarterback coach positions. So basically, they're trying to be what it is. It's basically saying that the NFL is going to be more inclusive in their quarterback coaching positions, whether it is minorities, whether it is female. We might see more.
Wait, what was the rule called?
Rooney Rule.
Oh, I thought it was the spinner Rooney Rule. I was about to say.
I was thinking the same thing, Kevin. I'm like, wait a minute.
Kevin,
what does it say in that press?
You didn't just say that.
Tell me you did not say that.
At the end of that press release, it says, "Can you dig it?"
And then
let me get. I thought the rule was for people who's coming back. No, I thought the rule was for people who's coming back to coach for the 5th time, so they can be like, "I'm the five-time quarterback coach."
Wait a minute. And on the side it says, "Stop doing that spinning room mess and get in this kitchen."
They get on the field.
Hey, at least with the Rooney Rule, you won't get beat up in a supermarket by someone.
Exactly.
Get beat with a jug of milk.
You got milk. You got milk. You stupid.
Good for you.
Maybe that's what they should do. Fight over it in a supermarket. See who gets the job.
Yes.
All right, guys, here we go. With some NFL news that's just been reported. Let's go with this one. So the Ravens have announced that they have reached an agreement with none other than Kyle Fuller.
Ooh,
good signing.
Good signing.
Which is not only good signing in retrospect for him, good signing for Baltimore because they need a great quarterback like him, but also the fact is also Kyle Fuller was born in Baltimore, so he is returning home.
Very good signing by the Ravens.
So he'll be going back.
That's good, seeing as all the cornerbacks tear their ACL in Baltimore. They need about 4 or 5 of them. That's pretty smart. Good signing, Baltimore.
Yep.
Oh my God.
If you're a cornerback or running back, don't go to Baltimore.
No,
Yeah.
you fucked.
Oh,
ACL
God.
gone.
Stay away.
It'd be like in the festival scene here in rock and roll for Bush, because every time Bush is booking on a damn festival, that some bitch gets rained out. Oh, Saturday? Bush is supposed to play at Rockville. No, rained out. Carolina Rebellion in 2013. Rained out. 2019 epicenter Rockingham, North Carolina. Rained out. Boom.
Hey, Steven, when Bush get rained out on a festival, guess what? Everything's zen? I don't think so. Hey, guess what? No amount of glycerine is going to help that problem.
Hey, man. Hey.
Just remember to breathe in and breathe out.
It's just the little things. It's just the little things.
They should take the razor blade suitcase and go home.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, Ezra.
Yo.
I got big breaking news out of Carolina.
Oh no.
Oh boy, you guys are gonna want to hear this.
Oh God, help us all.
Oh God.
Sam Darnold has already won the Dumb Butt of the Year award because he put out a comment saying, "I'm confident that I could be one of the best quarterbacks in the league."
What?
Hold on, wait a minute. There really is breaking news out of Carolina. It says this just in: Carolina Panthers still officially suck ass. That is all. Reported by Adam Scheffner.
Hold on, I'm looking at the date. Not sure, so I don't know what he's thinking, because that. Oh boy. Woo.
Oof.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I forgot to tell you guys. I broke my finger the other day, but on the other hand, I'm okay.
Oh wow.
Thank you.
Oh wow. Hey, there really is breaking news though, Ezra. I just seen it pop up on the TV. The All NBA first team has been announced.
Oh really? Okay.
And the players are Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic. That's your first team All NBA.
I like that. I actually like that.
Very good
So
selection.
Devin Booker. So with that being said, Devin Booker is now in line for a 5-year, $275 million contract.
Wow.
Wow.
To me, Devin Booker, very worth the investment. I think he's going to be very worth the investment, I think. Because
wait. Second team has been announced. It's Steph Curry, John Morant, DeMar DeRozan, and I didn't catch the other two.
Nice.
But that was the start of the second team.
Nice. Very cool. Very good.
It's on NBA TNT right now on the tip-off.
Okay. I'll throw it out real quick here in a second. The NFL announced that the combine will still take place in Indy for 2023 and 2024. So the combine is sticking around in Indy as it should. That was confirmed yesterday. Of course, it's expected both Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray will not be attending OTAs for their respective teams as they deal with the contract issues between each team. So,
Oh wow.
so it's not looking too good for Arizona or Cleveland when it comes to the whole situations with Kyler and Baker. So,
oh Jesus.
Hey,
Well,
I just seen the all defensive first and second teams have also been announced.
nice.
Let's see, on the first team you got Giannis from Milwaukee, Michael Bridges from Phoenix, Rudy Gobert from Utah, Jaren Jackson from Memphis, and Marcus Smart from Boston.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
And then the second team is Bam Adebayo, Draymond Green, Drew Holiday, Batista Bull, and Robert Williams III.
Not a bad list.
Oh,
I'm not sure why they do these at the They should do this at the end of the season, after everything's all said and done. I don't know why they do that crap. Monty Williams shouldn't be coach of the year.
No.
Doncic shouldn't be MVP. He ain't even playing anymore. He's not even playing anymore.
Wait, who's the MVP?
What's that?
Who's the MVP?
League MVP. They should wait until the season is over.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Hey, you guys.
Are in the NFL and they do it. They do it in baseball. I think they should wait. No, I'm more like is it hockey that does the player of the year of the season, and then they go another. They should do it that way. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
Kevin,
for the regular season, they should do stuff for the regular season. But as a whole, they should wait.
I agree. I agree 1,000%.
It is so foolish.
It is.
You have the NBA first team. None of them jokers are still playing. None of those jokers. None of them.
Well, actually, Randy,
how they first NBA team? It's ridiculous.
Hey, Randy, look. Calm down. Listen,
You're
going to love
hair on his
No,
head.
listen. Here's the funny one. I'll tell you even more of a disgrace. The NBA third team that I just looked up, every one of them have choked this postseason or regular season. Check out. Listen.
That's what made me think of it.
They should call it the All NBA choke team, number 3. Third team is the choke team. Chris Paul, Trae Young, who choked, LeBron James, who choked, Karl Anthony Towns, who choked, and Pascal Siakam, who choked. All 5 of them jokers choked. Is the All NBA third team. Holy shit. What in the world?
That is
Jesus.
garbage.
Yep.
That's the garbage of the Miami Heat. Jesus Christ. Hot garbage.
I don't know what's worse, that selection team or the fact that Miami's starting 5 last night could only put up 18 points combined.
Horrible.
Probably the selection
horrible.
team.
I don't understand why they do that. They should never do that. I don't know why.
Because the NFL.
We gotta give them credit. By the way, you gotta give him credit. It's a lot of work. Speaking of work, I told one of my buddies thank you for installing the new whiteboards in the meeting room. I told him, he said thank you. I said, yeah, they're remarkable.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, man. Come on.
Anyway, back to
the
NFL news. Jadeveon Clowney has re-signed with the Cleveland Browns on a 1-year contract worth around $11 million.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
they're gonna. I guess Clowney's gonna stick around.
He's a non-factor. He's definitely.
I know. He puts the clown in Clowney.
Yeah.
Playing defensive end. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he just plays when he wants to. He'll fit in good in Cleveland. That's all I say.
But you can't forget about Nick Foles signing Indianapolis to back up Matt Ryan.
Oh yeah, back there, I forgot. My dad said that Chris Paul played like Jake from State Farm back on the chat. So just remembered that. I
told you it's State Farm.
For my Cleveland comment to my dad, I didn't mean to say that, Pops. I'm sorry, but
I told you it's State Farm. It's something about State Farm with Chris Paul and Aaron Rodgers. They just can't get the job done.
Kevin, speaking of, thank you for bringing up Rodgers.
Mahomes too.
Yeah, didn't you see a list today, Kevin, of the top 10 or so quarterbacks?
Top 8 quarterbacks going in next year.
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers will be number 1 at losing this upcoming year.
He'll be sitting home on Super Bowl Sunday. That's it.
Yep.
The other 4 have a chance to play on Super Bowl Sunday, but not him.
Yeah. Here's the thing about that. Aaron Rodgers has been sitting home Super Bowl Sunday the past 10, 11 years. What makes this year going to be any different?
You know what? I'm going to just nickname Aaron Rodgers the Phoenix Suns for crying out loud. They're going to be one and the same. Oh, you're so good in the regular season. Oh, you suck in the playoffs. Get out of here.
Yep.
Hey. He's good when he wants. He's good on normal days, and he's bad on. And he's horrible in the moments that count. What do you know? What do you know? It sounds like probably his sex life is probably the same way too.
Damn.
Hey,
let's just say he's got. I'm not. You know what? I'm not. I'm gonna stop. Ravens punter coach announced his retirement on Thursday, which ends the career of the longest tenure player in team history. Coach, who is 39, has played in more games for the Ravens at 256 than Terrell Suggs or Ray Lewis.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Happy retirement, old man.
Yep.
Hey, speaking of which, Kevin, have you heard that ESPN Films 30 for 30 is looking at doing a documentary of the 01 Baltimore Ravens?
Love it.
Ooh, that would be a good one.
Ray Lewis.
That's gonna be a great one.
Have you know they got the hard knocks of the 2001 Baltimore Ravens? I used to love watching that season.
Oh, really?
Hard Knocks.
Oh, dude, you know there's gonna be some good sound clips of
who was their defensive tackle? Tony, Big Tony. He was the most funniest dude on that team in Hard Knocks. He would prank everybody. One time he put a whole damn plate of spaghetti in someone's gas tank as a prank on a rookie. That's someone else. Ray Lewis said, "Damn, fat boy, I'm surprised you didn't put it in his thing. I thought you would have ate it."
That guy's a POS.
Said, oh, Jesus.
He's a POS. He's the one that took out Rich Gannon. And
Which one?
Saragusa.
That's it. That's the name. Yeah.
Tony Saragusa.
He broke Rich Gannon's ribs in the championship game. He used Gannon to get up off the ground because he was so damn fat. He used him broke his ribs by getting up. That's how much
bad. That's real bad.
That's a fat POS. And after that, the Raiders were out of that series, or out of that game. That was it. But he did that. They didn't get a penalty. They didn't get anything. And they brought in oh my God, I can't even remember now. I want to say maybe Brian Hoyer or somebody. And the Raiders were done after that. I mean, the Ravens defense was already good enough, but man, they just brings back bad memories. Thanks a lot, Kevin.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Randy. Hey, Ezra, there's one more thing about the NFL that I'm not sure if you read up on yet for news wise. And what about the after the Giants releasing James Bradbury, who is a pretty solid corner, the Eagles picked him up.
That's actually one of the news I was going to say, because I'm reading through Adam Schefter's Twitter feed to catch up. And,
okay.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Yeah, 1 year, $10 million to be with the Eagles. So that's a great pickup for Philly.
Oh yeah,
he's a very solid cornerback who's great in that defensive spot. Absolutely. Also, we got to touch on Jair Alexander signing with Green Bay. Also, he got a big contract extension.
Fat one.
I tell you, contract extension. I believe the deal is for. I'm looking it up right now. It doesn't give the money on the Green Bay Packers website. It just says that.
Talk about the Jair Alexander deal.
Yes.
4 years, $84 million.
Wow.
Man, that's the biggest Tony Saragusa, ain't it, Randy? He got a big contract.
Hey.
Is there some spaghetti in there?
Yeah. I think he's the one that turned the lights out on the 49ers. He's the one that turned the lights out in the Super Bowl there, Kevin. So I don't know.
Hey, might be.
Yeah, wait. Was he the one that caused the damn Super Bowl power outage in New Orleans in 2013?
Stood in front of the lights. He stood in front of it, and they could.
He walked by the stage.
Yeah, God said, "Let there be light," and told Tony Saragusa to move.
Yeah, he said, God said, let there be light. He saw him, he said, good Lord, turn off these lights.
He said, let there be light. He told Saragusa to move out of the way.
They should do that for the Panthers every time they go out and play.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Lord, Kevin. I just have remembered about this.
Oh, God.
It's bad because Joey actually remembered something.
Yes.
Kevin, all I have to say is this player's name, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh God.
Lindell White.
Oh, that big. He's Tony Saragusa at running back. Holy shit. He weighed like 400 pounds. You thought Eddie Lacy was a big one? Oh, boy. Lindell White to be a running back looked like he was an offensive lineman getting the football every damn time. Oh, my goodness.
Now, here's a guy at running back who's like a big Eddie Lacy.
Now, here's a guy who can eat with the offensive lineman at the buffet.
He ate the whole. He would eat the whole turducken by himself.
He ate the waitresses too.
We got. Oh my God. Let's get back into the news, guys. The Dolphins have officially signed Melvin Ingram III and waived quarterback Chris Straveller.
That's a great pickup by Miami. Oh, that's a great pickup. Melvin Ingram last year for Kansas City made that defense even better, and he will make the Dolphins defense really good this upcoming season.
Yeah.
I agree. Also, excuse me. Also, the Steelers have completed a second round interview for their GM position with the Eagles' Vice President of Player Personnel, Andy Weidel.
I tell you, the Dolphins and the Eagles had very good off seasons. I hate to admit it, but they had amazing off seasons. Philadelphia, especially. Every time you hear about a signing, they had the big trades in the draft. AJ Brown, now Bradbury. I mean, being quietly having a scary off season, and the East is always tough, and unfortunately for Joe, they're getting better. And the Dolphins, of course, have all their.
I understand Philly's trying to make a splash here, and I'm not going to lie, they have had a great offseason, but I see this as more of a rebuilding year for Philly. I don't see them challenging for the NFC East because they still got a bunch of holes that need to be filled.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I see this as a rebuilding year.
That's what she said.
Hey, no, you know what, Randy? Here's the thing, though. Here's the big key. Philly and Miami's got their hardest challenge yet. Okay, they had a good off season, but it's now the equivalent of me trying to teach my 3-year-old daughter to throw a football with trying to get Jalen Hurts and Tua turned the ball over to throw a fucking football because neither one of them can throw a fucking football. You know who they look like? Both of them throw the football about as good as Brucey from The Longest Yard with the popcorn on his fingers. Oh, shit, I shouldn't have ate that popcorn.
Your daughter will probably throw a tighter spiral than they would.
My dog would. My dog could damn poop out dog poop and it still be more better than Jalen Hurts or Tua turn the ball over is what I call them.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's get into this, guys. Let's talk. We're gonna move off the NFL discussion. Well, we're gonna talk football, but we're gonna talk about college, and the only reason is because of comments that were made by Nick Saban, of course, the head coach the head coach of Alabama.
Oh.
He made some comments saying that Texas A&M had bought every player for its 2022 recruiting class. Well, Jimbo Fisher did not lay back and let those comments go unnoticed. And in a 9.5-minute press conference, Fisher was visibly angry, very pissed off, and basically said that they never bought anybody, no rules were broken. And then he said it's despicable that a reputable coach can come out and say this when he doesn't get his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow these things to happen. It's ridiculous when he's not on top. Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past or anybody that's ever coached with him. You can find out anything you want to find out, what he does and how he does it. It's despicable.
Yep. Yep, yep. And Jimbo's nothing but a overhyped has been who doesn't know who his left hand from
Shots
his right
fired.
hand.
Coming from a guy with the show that not only 10 people watch.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh shit.
No,
That's crazy.
But seriously, I wanted to get
listen here, Mr. Jimbo Fisher. Out of those 7 5-star athletes you signed, how many of them originally, and I mean originally, wanted to go to A&M? Let me crunch some numbers here. Oh yeah, none, because A&M freaking sucks. They A&M always sucks. They suck year in and year out. They went 4-4 in the SEC last season. So shut up, Jimbo Fisher. I don't want to hear your crap.
You know what though, Joey? To me, I don't see nothing Nick Saban said was wrong, because technically, as an athlete, us as like spectators and stuff, we see what goes on the camera. But really, college players are paid from all over. I don't care what nobody says. They just can't formally come out and say, yeah, he paid me to go to Duke. Like Zion Williams, I got paid to go to Duke. You can't formally say that, but technically now you can, because technically it's now legal to get college endorsements. So it's not a problem either way. So Nick Saban didn't say nothing wrong. I don't
likeness deals.
And I don't know why Jimbo Fisher got all upset, because if I paid somebody off, it's legal now. So if I paid somebody off, I'm going to say, damn right, I got money in my pocket. I paid so-and-so to come here. Oh, well. But the problem I had about what Nick Saban was, the only problem, is about Deion Sanders and Jackson State. Now, I don't think Deion paid nobody off, because, to be honest, as a former player, this is why Deion's getting a lot of talent. Like, if I'm playing cornerback, why would I not want to play for one of the best cornerbacks in NFL history? Like, I would want to play under the teaching of Deion Sanders, like the number 1 cornerback in next year's recruiting class is. I would love to play corner. He's getting, because his name recognition is why he's getting the players he's getting. And I would love to play for Deion Sanders. He's one of the best 2 sports athletes in NFL history, with baseball and football, and one of the best specialty players and DBs, whatever you want to call them, one of the best to ever do it. So if I got a chance to go play under somebody like that over a D1 college, honestly, I would take that, just because he can give me information about playing my position that any other coach in college couldn't give me, because Deion's done it. He's been there. He's done it firsthand. He's got a player point of view of it. That's where I have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think you're right, because a lot of those guys, the way it is now with scouting and different things like that, they're looking at every player. D1. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's film on everyone now. So yeah, why go under somebody like you said that's been there, done it, and done it at a high level. I mean, that's what I think Fisher and Saban, maybe not Saban as much, but are scared of. If I'm Ryan Day, if I'm any of the coaches in the Big Ten, I'm worried about that too. These guys can, they can lose top recruits to guys like Deion Sanders that have been there, done that, and everything's changing, and it's I don't know if it's for the best or for the good, but it's good for the players. They're finally getting the name, image, likeness stuff, and I think it's about time that they do that, because most of those guys, can't afford to do anything. So shout out to them for being able to do that stuff now.
Absolutely.
And, it's still going to be crazy when they try to do it, but and it's going to sound shady and whatnot, but Deion Sanders is doing it right. And I was never a big Deion fan, but you got to respect him. That's for damn sure.
Man, Kevin, what the hell happened? You're fucking.
Hey, hold on. I disappeared like Chris Paul for a minute there. I took a break like Chris Paul did. Going to Cancun, going fishing with the sun.
Connection is more shitty than Miami's playoff shooting percentage in the last.
Wait a minute. To my connection's defense, damn it. It wasn't even the connection. I tried to ignore a phone call and damn accidentally answered the phone call. So that wasn't my connection. That was my dumbass fault. I made the mistake like Monty Williams made with the Phoenix Suns. Damn it.
Beavis is sitting there, or Butthead's sitting there going, "You dumbass."
Ass wipe.
Dumbass.
But real quick before we close this show out, let's get really, of course, I want to get into real quick is, of course, the NHL. Real quick, coming up, we got some. Of course, right now we got the Hurricanes and the Rangers. Right now, playing right now 3-0 Rangers at the end of the second period. We've also got Edmonton Oilers taking on Calgary Flames later tonight. We also got the Blues and the Avalanche play tomorrow. And then another Rangers and Hurricanes game. We're down to, let's say we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, folks, in this. Looks like we're down to the final 8 teams in hockey. So the Stanley Cup playoff or Stanley Cup finals are going to be coming very shortly. So if you're a hockey fan, man, enjoy it. It's going to be great playoffs. I love playoff hockey. That's for sure. We've said
without a doubt, I love it too. And there's something actually pretty crazy happening if it plays out. But Tampa Bay could be in the finals again for the third straight year?
Yep.
So I mean,
yep,
that's pretty wild. I mean, that's pretty good stuff. They're a real good team. Yeah, I watched them yesterday, and they're the real deal. And they're going 3 years in a row. I mean, the Oilers used to do that back in the day, and a lot of other teams used to do that back in the day. Red Wings, Blackhawks, all that stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's getting kind of going under the radar a little bit. So props to them. I mean, it's real good.
And of course, Tampa Bay, led by none other than the legendary, probably one of the future Hall of Famer in his right, Steve Stamkos.
Yes, sir. He's a great player, 100%.
One of the best, and one of the top three players in the league, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I think that's pretty much it. As far as MMA news, there really isn't really too much going on, outside of maybe a few injury notes. But give me a moment while I check. Let's see. There was issues. I guess there was some talk about possible open judging for MMA, some more open judging where the judging is more fair because there's so many issues with the decisions of the judges that UFC and MMA and boxing have put into play. But there's also a rule that there is in those sports, and that is never leave it in the hands of the judges. That's always been rule number 1 in the sport of mixed martial arts. Or in boxing, you want to finish your opponent, because if you leave it in the hands of the judges, you might not get a result that you like, whether you want it to happen or not. So
that's right. Mike Tyson was winning on every card when he when he got knocked out. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
yeah, I get you.
But go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, man. You're good. No, it's good. I'm glad you made a point. One note is that there was possible rumors going around that Damian Maia, who, in my opinion, is the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt outside of Royce Gracie to be in the UFC, was going to retire. Well, Damian Maia and his camp have come out and said that he's not done yet, and that he wants to re-sign, or he wants UFC to re-sign him. That way he can finish his career in the octagon. So, and as a massive fan of Damian Maia as I am, I hope he does get the opportunity to do so. Damian Maia, to me, like I said, one of the top Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style fighters in the UFC's history. A guy who is a pure BJJ practitioner in a world that requires more complex and better skills in the octagon itself. But a guy who kept that style going and really brought it forward, really made it a thing. So definitely all that on that front. Also, former UFC champion Henan Barao is set to return to fighting. He's going to take on William Gomi at Eris FC 7 on June 25th. So that's a big time fight there. The next big fight, I believe, coming up is UFC. I'm looking it up right now, folks. Sorry about that. Right now, the next big fight coming up is UFC 275, which will be June 11th. It's going to feature Glover Teixeira, who I believe is the UFC light heavyweight champion, taking on Jiri Prochazka in the main event, and then Valentino Shevchenko will defend her women's flyweight title against Talia Santos, and also Joanna. I can't pronounce her last name, unfortunately. We'll take on Zhang Well, and then a bunch of other great fights on the card too. Jake Matthews, Andre Fiallo. I'll check out the card for more info, but that'll take place June 11th, 2022 on UFC on ESPN Plus. So if you got ESPN Plus, you can watch a fight. That'll take place in Singapore. As Captain Jack Sparrow once said, clearly you've never been to Singapore. But another big fight coming up that is actually just happened this past week, and that was Holly Holm was in the main event. She lost a split decision to Caitlin Vieira. And then a couple other good fights on here, including Tabitha Ricci beating Polyana Viana, Chidi Onjikwani, which I believe is the younger brother of Anthony Njokuani, took on Todorovic and lost on defeated him with an elbow strike in the first round, 448 in the first, so just before the round ended. But yeah, if you haven't seen that fight as well, go to ESPN Plus to watch that fight as well. But let's go ahead and wrap it up, guys. We're at the end of the show. Anything else you guys want to talk about before I get to everybody's final thoughts?
I think we're good.
Okay. All right. Let's start off with let's go with our usual order. Randy, your final thoughts.
Hey, great show tonight, guys. Very good analysis on the finals and the games going forward for the next week or so. As always, thanks for having me. And Chris Paul still sucks. Thanks.
Great way to end it.
We couldn't leave on a Chris Paul sucks note. There we go.
Nope.
That's right.
All right, Joe, you're next, buddy.
Once again, another great show with you guys. It was great having a full cast back this week.
Yes,
I'm already looking forward to the show next week. But I'm gonna end my final thoughts. And I think I speak for everyone here when I say, let's lift up what happened earlier in Texas with those families.
I was just reading that. I could not believe what I was just reading.
Yeah, I feel sorry for all those poor families who had to go through that. So my hearts and my prayers are with the families in Texas at this time.
Yes, definitely. 18 children and
14 children and a teacher.
Well, actually, it's been up now to 18.
Oh, dang, really?
Yes, it's been up to 18 now. 18 innocent children and 2 teachers gunned down in senseless violence earlier today in Texas by an 18-year-old. Like I said, all of us here at our Nation Sports Show and all of us in my crew too, at Too Sweet Cosplay and the Nation's Corner, send our condolences, our prayers, and our continued support to the families of those that lost loved ones today. Kevin, your final thoughts, my friend.
Yeah, like you just said, Joey, man, my heart goes out to all the families of that tragic event. And as a parent, it's gut wrenching to be in one of those parents' shoes, to know that your kid is gone to school and you go to look for them and something this tragic has happened. So yeah, my heart and condolences to go out to each one of the family members, the school staff, all of them. My heart goes out to them. But other than that, it's been a great show with you guys, talking sports, talking Tony Saragusa. Talking NFL, MMA, hockey. It's been a good show with you guys. And boy, wouldn't it be good to have Tony Saragusa and Vince Wilfork on the same team at D tackle?
Yeah.
Oh God!
You don't need
Somebody gotta run the ball. Anyway, it's been a good show with you guys.
There'll be
Really
a whole lot
enjoyed
of pancakes going on there, boys.
Yeah, going in their mouth. Maybe eating a lot of pancakes.
Steven, you know the drill, brother. Let's go.
Well, as first off, just our condolences, our thoughts and our prayers go out to the 18 children and the 2 teachers' lives that were lost today in Texas. Just senseless violence. I mean, just when's it gonna stop? I mean, just gut wrenching, you know. And I know we have parents in our crew that have kids: Christina, Ashley, Mike, both Mongrovian Mike and Hijacker Mike, Steve, and everybody out there, you know, that have kids. I mean, I know they're going to hold their kids love on them as much as they can tonight, because I mean, just what a absolute tragedy this was down there in Texas. Just unbelievable. Just I muted myself and just read some of this, and I just had the expression of what the hell is going on, you know, like just crazy. But again, our thoughts and prayers go out to these kids and their families and these parents losing their kids. Just ridiculous. And as always, great show with you guys. And you can follow us on Twitter at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook at facebook.com/Nation Sports Show. And you can also like and subscribe to this video and to all of our videos. And last time I checked, we are at 95 subscribers. Yep. And you can also follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner, everywhere on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and it's at the Nation's Corner. Ezra, close us out, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. Great show with you, gentlemen. Once again, thank you so much. It's good to have the whole crew back together to do this. I love doing this with y'all. We can't wait for next week as we get ready to venture into the NBA Finals. And definitely we're going to add definitely deeper into the Stanley Cup playoffs as well. We'll definitely have more discussion on that, plus all things baseball, MMA, whatever we can get into during that time. Thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Also don't forget, like I said, follow our individual social medias. Follow my group, Too Sweet Cosplay, at Too Sweet Cosplay, for more info on where we'll be at, and what appearances we will be doing, and where the next wrestling show will be at. Definitely, that's of course will be Forbidden Door, June 26th on pay-per-view. Don't forget to check that out. Don't forget to check out any events coming up in the world of pro wrestling, GCW, Mission Pro, AEW, whatever the case may be. Well, happy wrestling, everybody, as Ian Riccaboni would say. So, for Randy Giron, for Stephen Wyand, for Kevin Rorie, and for Joseph Thornton, I am Ezra Vickery, and we will see you next week for another awesome, great, stupendous edition of our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody, and have a great night. Peace.
Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up.